Hey guys, it's Rich with another Tarot Talk Tuesday. In this week's video, I am doing a deck review and reveal of the Divine Circus Oracle. This is a beautiful deck made by Alana Fairchild, and it is produced by Blue Angel. Comes in a nice 2-part box. Love that for Oracle decks especially. Couple things to note. Let's set that aside. That's just a little piece of paper that comes in there to keep things from getting scratched. Couple things to note. It does come with those nice little bands. I made sure that I kept it in there, so I mentioned that. So it does keep the cards together fairly well. One drawback from the box is that it doesn't have like a little cutout, so the cards don't sit in there snug. So this actually might not continue to live in the box. And from the way that the cards look and the vibe that I got just looking through them to make sure everything was there, I think this might be one of those Oracle decks that don't live in the box. So not a huge deal, but for my Oracle decks, I usually do keep them in a box. So yeah, just something to note. It does come with a little companion book. This is, let's see, because I'm ill-prepared for this. It comes out to 127 pages, and then it gives an about, and then gives a little advertising in the back. So, nice little book. This came out in 2016, so it's fairly new, at least right now I'm recording in 2017. You guys probably won't see this until 2018. But anyway, getting into the book here, we have a dedication. And then we have an introduction, how to use this deck. It has a clown nose spread. And it has a strongman. So the clown nose is a 1-card spread. The strongman is a 5-card spread. The Flying Trapeze, I love the names of these, is another 5-card spread. The Bearded Lady is another 5-card spread. And so, yeah, it gives you a couple different spreads that are included in this. And then it has a What's with the Healing Tricks. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you guys, and I don't like reading to you guys usually. It says, healing tricks are little processes designed to help you get the message of the card and activate it in your mind, body, and soul. Sometimes they will seem serious, other times they will seem silly, and you might wonder at the point of them. And then it goes on from there, and I'm not going to read to you guys. So, it goes into the card messages, and it gives you a little tiny black and white photo, which that's okay. I don't need photos in the book as far as photos of the cards. So, as long as if they are numbered or have a title on there, I don't necessarily need a a photo in the book. One thing I will say about this is I wish that these were numbered on the cards, so I'll get into that in a minute. And let's see, it has a description of the card, it has a healing trick, and the healing trick for this one, which is called Meant for You, it says, to help you take the wisdom offered and put it to the best use in your life now, do this healing trick to clear obstacles to putting this guidance into place. Stand upright with your legs hip width apart. Raise your arms in the air, above your head, open wide. Look up and imagine that the universe is watching and listening to you. Give the universe a big grin and a wink. Then say out loud to the universe, to everything that is in my heart, and all that can help me manifest my destiny with the greatest joy, I say yes, yes, yes. You've completed your healing trick. So it's a nice little way of taking the cards and using them for more than just divination. This is something that I really enjoy doing. I really love either doing tarot spells or delving into an oracle deck that really helps you kind of dislodge those little nitty-gritty feelings of, I'm kind of stuck, help me get out. I really love that they put something like that in here that really helps you just kind of dislodge whatever it is that you need dislodged in your life, that will help everything flow a little bit easier. And then it also gives an affirmation. So I love that. And it seems like that all of the different cards have different artists to them. And that's something I didn't know whenever I bought it, or didn't realize whenever I bought it. And it's something that I actually really love, is that you have different artists and they have different names for all of the pictures, such as the Silver Siren is, the card artwork is Silver Periette by Maxime Gad. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And I kind of really love that. So I love anything that's like a compilation deck that really doesn't seem like a compilation deck because it's so well put in with the flow of everything. So very nicely done on the book. So let's get into the cards because that's really what you're here for. I know this. Let's get down into the nether regions. Okay, before I get into showing you the actual cards themselves, I want to take a minute and look at the back of these, because they do have large borders. You can definitely do a borderectomy on these. This is a Rider-Waite-Smith card that if you were to do a borderectomy, it would be a little bit wider and a little bit longer than the Rider-Waite-Smith by only a little bit. So let's see if I can line that up here. Right like that. So you would definitely have a wider deck and you'd have a slightly longer deck. So you can definitely do borderectomies. I probably will not. If I do a borderectomy in the future, I will let you guys know and possibly do it as a little show and tell. But you can definitely do that. These are glossy, but I'm okay with the glossy type of card. So, loving that. The thickness, this is 44 cards. So, let's see if I can do this. Let's take the major arcana out of the Rider-Waite-Smith. So there you have 56 cards. So, 56 cards versus 44. They're a little bit thicker than the Rider-Waite-Smiths, so gives you an idea on how thick they are. Okay, so a couple things to note. Yes, wider. Yes, longer. Yes, thicker. Glossy. Nice, good cardstock, though. I love that. So let's go ahead and get on into the flip through. I do want to apologize that this seems to be the time that somebody thinks that they need to be mowing their lawn. Don't they know that I'm making a video? Rude. So, like I said, with this deck, it doesn't seem like the artwork is really out of place whenever you have these different artists bringing their artwork together. I don't know exactly how this came to be, whether this was Alana going to each individual artist and telling them, hey, this is what I want for this deck, or if they submitted it. I'm not certain on this. It could be in the book, but the amount that I've gone through looking at this deck has been like one time over to make sure all the cards were there, and seeing the artwork for the first time, and then this time. So didn't really go through this deck too much because I wanted to do the review before I went into everything else of trying to learn this. So that's where I'm at on that. but it doesn't seem like they're too terribly out of place that you can get with some compilation decks. So that's very much appreciated. Everything seems fairly seamless as far as the style. You have a little bit here and there, like I'm going to set these side by side. This one's a little bit more on the darker side. This is more on the whimsical side. So you have a little bit of a difference, but it's not too terribly noticeable that it's kind of jarring. And it could definitely speak to the type of message that the card itself has. So as long as if everything is appropriate with the meaning behind the card, like this one is a sweetheart, and I totally see her as a total sweetheart. I mean, beautiful, beautiful. Totally loving the macabre. There doesn't seem to be a lot of ethnic diversity, so I want to be sure to note that. But you know, you have a lot of clownage, I guess would be the term. I don't know. You have a lot of clowns, a lot of circus aspects. So definitely not something that is very apparent whenever you have all that makeup on. Usually clowns are seen with white faces because of the porcelain that they used to use in the dolls and whatnot. So it's very much a porcelain doll look with these clowns. So that's something to note. A lot of skinnier faces too. You don't see a lot of size differences in these individuals either. So if that's something that you have as a takeaway as well, that's something to note. There's not a lot of diversity in size. And like I said before, they don't have the number of the card on there. So I would really appreciate... Oh, wait. I am incorrect on that. I just saw where it's at. It's right here. They don't have it in a prominent spot as far as big and bold. So you kind of have to search for it. It's right here in the center. So something to note on that. I was incorrect on that. And whenever I'm incorrect, I try to, you know, I try to call myself out. So, yes, they do have all of the numbers there. So makes it easier to look it up in the book whenever you're just starting out. So, kind of loving the artwork of this. So, how does it shuffle though? Let's see. Like I said, thicker cards, wider cards, longer cards. Kind of difficult to hold on to. You have to make sure that you go a little bit further up than what you're used to whenever shuffling a card deck. But shuffles fairly well, fairly smooth. Let's see if... Now, I want to make sure that I do this right so everything still ends up upright, because they aren't made to be reversible. So, I don't have any complaints on the way that it is shuffling. So, that's great. Besides the length and width, like I said, you can definitely do a borderectomy if you wish to take out all of the black border, which I like the black border, but it is a size issue for me on that. So might take that off, might do a borderectomy, probably not anytime soon. Really can't wait to work with this deck because, oh my gosh, loving the artwork in this deck. So anyway, that is the book. The box. Like I said, not fitting in there the best. Gives it room to move around. That I don't like, because then you end up with beat up edges, which, you know what? If it's a well-loved deck, I can live with some beat up edges. That's just me. You got the guidebook, and that in its entirety is the Divine Circus Oracle by Alana Fairchild and produced by Blue Angel Publishing in 2016. I hope you guys enjoy this. I really like this type of artwork, this type of style. It's just whimsical and macabre, and just a really cool deck. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just really cool. So if you have this deck, let me know how much you love it or don't love it. Always go ahead and leave comments down below. I read them all. I don't always get a chance to answer questions. I try to do bulk answerings of questions and comments and all that in like Stitch and Witch videos and whatnot. So if I don't answer you, then that's why. But yes, go ahead and leave comments down in the bottom bar. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And every week you get another Tarot Talk Tuesday video, whether it is a card deck review, a book review, or just a little tarot musings. So, yes, that is about all that I have to say. Until next time, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye-bye.